So you're looking to start an online course, but you're not exactly sure where to start. Well, in this video, I'm gonna walk you through the entire step-by-step process to create an online course from scratch. But more importantly, how are we gonna sell this online course before we even launch it? Now, my name is Jonathan Montoya, and as you can see in my merchant account, I've served over 50,000 customers with my online course. And I've launched multiple courses, low ticket, high ticket, mid ticket, and subscriptions. So throughout this video, I'm going to show you the entire process of building an online course. But more importantly, how can we pre-sell that course before we even launch it? And then what platform should we use? How should we do the email marketing? How are we selling the course? Are we doing webinars, challenges? I'm going to show you the entire process in this video. Let's get into it. So step number one is to identify the main core outcome for your online course. So I'm going to be walking you through this document step by step, and we're going to be filling this out as we go. This is exactly what I do when I'm creating an online course. Now, I'll show you how you can get access to this document at the end of this video, but I just want you to go through this with me because this is exactly how I almost guarantee that I get sales for my online course. Okay, so again, number one is we need to identify the main core outcome for your online course. Okay, it's really important because a lot of people are just like, well, I want to teach, real estate or crypto or how to lose weight, right? And that's all cool, but that's just the vehicle. And what I mean by vehicle is that's the thing that actually helps them, right? So for me, when I built my online course, I've helped over 50,000 people get started with affiliate marketing. Affiliate marketing is the vehicle. It's the actual thing that helps them get the result. But here's the thing. No one cares about the vehicle. No one cares about the actual thing. They only care about the main core outcome. So for example, if you're taking a trip to Hawaii, how do you get to Hawaii? A plane. But no one's going to talk about the plane ride. That sucks. You have to drive to the airport. You have to wait in line. You have to go through TSA, and then you go to Hawaii. But the main core outcome is having an amazing vacation in Hawaii. So that's how you got to look at this step. We're talking about the main core outcome, right? How can we get someone from point A to point B, and point B being the pleasure point, right? Going from pain to pleasure. So that being said, we need to fill out the following statement, okay? And this is really important. If you don't do this, you're probably not going to do well in your course, okay? Because if you don't understand who you're helping, but more importantly, how you can get them from point A to point B, it's going to be really hard to sell the course, okay? And you'll understand as we go through this, okay? But here's an example right here, and I'll do another one. All right, so we need to fill out the following statement, okay? Now, you'll see here, I help who? This is your target audience, right? So for me, and this is just an example of who I help with my online course. It's I help exhausted parents who, and then this is the pain point, hate their 9-to-5 job. Okay, that's the pain point. 2, and then this is the main core outcome, right? So I help them achieve financial and time freedom. And then even we could add to that and quit their job with, okay, now this is the vehicle. This is the thing that's going to actually help them with affiliate marketing so they can, okay, and this is the pleasure point, right? And this one can be longer if you want, but for me, it's just like so they can spend more time with their family, travel more, give more, right? This is the thing that they actually want to do, right? Again, they don't really care about, affiliate marketing per se, or real estate, or, if you're helping people with weight loss, keto, right? They don't care about the actual vehicle. They care about this part right here, right? Spending more time with the family, traveling more, going on vacations, right? That's the thing that they truly desire, okay? So this is really important. So number one, when we identify the main core outcome, we really need to dig deep into this. All right, so I just added another example. This one's in the weight loss niche. Now I want you to see the main goal of what we're doing here, okay? Again, we're trying to help someone go from point A to point B, and we're focusing on the dream core outcome, okay? So this one is I help, this is who I'm helping, overweight dads who, this is their pain point. They have no energy or confidence, okay? 2, and then this is the main core outcome. I help them, get down to 15% body fat or whatever it is that you want to help them with. And then this is with, right, the vehicle. This is the thing that I actually help them with, okay? Let's just say you have like an 8-week fitness boot camp, okay? Whatever it is, okay? So they can, and this is the pleasure point, right? This is the main core outcome they want to get to. They can finally have more energy, confidence, and feel like a superhuman, okay? You see, this is what they truly desire right here. So I'm even going to underline this because this is what they truly want with this program, okay? So this is the main thing you got to figure out when you're doing step 1. So step number 2, when you're building your online course, is to create your course outline. I also call this the customer success map. Now, I've built and launched about 6 online courses since I started back in 2019. And this part's actually really important because what a lot of people do wrong here is they'll basically have modules, they'll have videos under those modules, and that's cool. That's how I see 90% of online course creators making their online course. Now, I think about step number 2 really different because you don't want to just throw random modules with random videos, because at the end of the day, people don't want a ton of videos. They just want to make sure they can get the core result that they want. So in the document, this is how I break down creating your course outline. Now, I'm going to show you a graphic on how I build this out, but this is kind of what it's going to look like. I break it down in phases, right? So let's just say phase 1 is a main core result you want to help them get to, okay? Now we can then break phase 1 into modules, okay? We're going to learn this in module 1, and then we break that down in videos, and then you can break those videos down into worksheets or checklists. So this is kind of how you want to start thinking about this. Now, before you even do this, okay, you want to create like a visual map on how you're going to help your dream client, okay? Now, if you can do this, I promise it's going to be a complete game changer, okay? So this is what I've built here, and this is one of the programs that brought me $5 million in sales, okay? So as you see here, this is what I call the 4 phases of freedom roadmap, okay? Now, you'll notice I didn't break this down into modules or videos at all, okay? What I'm doing here is I'm breaking this down. Let me make this bigger. I'm breaking this down into phases, right? So obviously my main core result to help my clients is to help them quit their 9-to-5 job, okay? Now you'll notice here, I never mention affiliate marketing, anything like that. I'm trying to break down how can I get someone a result, okay? So I'm really thinking about this, okay? So then I break this down into phases. I'm like, okay, this is how I help people in my online course quit their 9-to-5 job, okay? Phase number 1 is I want to help them get results as fast as humanly possible. So then I break that down, okay? How do I do that? Well, I help them with affiliate marketing, right? So you see phase 1, and then I break that down. Hey, I gotta help them find a niche, okay? I gotta help them find a product. I gotta help them, build the funnel, the ecosystem. Step number 4 is I'm helping them create videos. And then step number 5 is I then show them how to use a Google Doc to close sales, okay? This is just phase 1, okay? And then I'm like, okay, I'm thinking of my own journey. How did I get out of my job? Well, I did phase 1 first, and then phase 2, I started thinking about, the long term. So in phase 2, I call it the traffic ecosystem. Now, I want you to notice how I kind of name these phases based on like the core result that I want to get them, right? So I don't name it something like how to do YouTube. I say something like traffic ecosystem, how to get leads on autopilot. So I kind of give it like a catchy name, something that sounds cool. It's not boring. It's not just like how to do YouTube or whatever, but essentially phase 2 in this example is teaching them YouTube. Then I can break that down, building out my nurturing hub, creating an evergreen lead machine, AKA YouTube. Number 3, getting hot leads with YouTube, and then warm YouTube ads. So I can then break this down, right? And then what's interesting is you could break down these steps into, these are basically your modules, and then you create your worksheets from those videos, okay? That's basically how I break down how I, create my online courses, okay? And yeah, as you can see, I have 4 phases in this example here, but this has no doubt been my most successful program that I've ever released. And as you can see, I have phase 3, phase 4, where we go all the way to automations and scaling, how to grow your team, how to do cold ads, and then how to take a vacation, once you've built your online business. So this is basically the first thing I do before I even do the course outline. Now, a lot of people are going to skip this because does take a lot of work. You really got to think about how you can help your target audience, but trust me, this is going to be a game changer if you can create like this, I call it like this freedom map, right? Or your customer's journey. How can you get them from point A to point B, okay? Now, once you kind of build that out, right? Then you could start actually like filling in the blanks, okay? Hey, phase one's gonna be about this, and now this is the main goal I wanna help them with. But then I could break that down into module 1, module 2, module 3, and then within that module, I'll have 4 or 5 videos, okay? This is important because now you can like literally, you can build your whole course pretty quickly. It's like, okay, this is what I got to create. I got to create, 3 videos within module 1, and then I got to create these checklists and worksheets to go with it. Now, one thing that really helps is you can use ChatGPT to do this, right? So for example, here's a prompt that you can use. I said, create a course outline to teach affiliate marketing, break it down into 4 phases. Under those phases, create modules, and underneath that, create the videos that go with the modules. And you can see it kind of gives me some ideas. Obviously it's not going to do everything for you, but you can at least get some ideas, right? So you can see phase 1, introduction to affiliate marketing. It breaks that down into modules, and it breaks it down into videos, right? And we can even go further and just say, can you also add worksheets and documents to go with this? So we could also ask ChatGPT to add these various documents, right? So kind of cool. This really helps out because when people are going through your courses, they're going to watch the video, but we also have the documents and worksheets that are going to help them. Let me show you an example. Now, here's an example of the online course that I was showing you. And as you can see, I have it broken down into phases. And then in these phases, I have the videos. Now, what I want to show you here is if I click on one of these, you'll notice that if I break this down, you can see I have workbooks to go with the videos, right? So it's really cool because what happens here is, they have the phases, they have the videos, but then I also break this down into the actual workbooks, okay? So super, super cool. Now, one thing you can add as well, and this is something I'm gonna be adding on my online courses, is you can add an audio version. So I haven't done this yet, but the goal is to have the video version, but then also have like a audio version because a lot of people like to listen instead of watching the videos. So that's gonna be my goal next, is to add like this audio version down here where they don't have to just watch the video. But the goal of creating your outline is just making it as easy as possible to consume your material. So step number 3 is choosing the correct equipment and tools that you're going to use to create your online course. Now, if you're going to be filming your videos, you got to figure out, are you going to use some sort of screen recorder? Which audio equipment, camera are you going to use? But for most of you, this is going to be one of the biggest questions here, is what am I going to use to record the background, right? So as you can see, I'm sharing my screen. You can see me on camera. There's a few things that I recommend. Now, the first one here is called Loom, and this is one of the easiest programs to use. Basically, this is a Google Chrome extension that records your screen and you could show your face or not. Okay, so at the top here, you can see I have the Loom Chrome extension. Okay, so you'll see here that you can say, hey, I want to show the window. I want the camera on or off. And then I could simply start recording here. And you can see I could even blur certain things. I could have effects. Pretty powerful and easy to use. Okay. And then as you can see, all I do is start recording and it'll basically show my background with my face on the bottom left or right, kind of like you're seeing on this video right now, okay? Now, Loom is free to use. You can make 5-minute videos. Anything above 5 minutes, you will have to pay for it, but you can at least film for 5 minutes and then you could create another version if you wanted to, or if you didn't want to pay for Loom, okay? Now, the second option here is OBS Studios. Now, this is what I'm using right now to create this video, and let me pull up my OBS Studios. So this is it right here. It's a little bit more complicated, as you can see, but you can see here that, I have my video capture device, my display, so basically what I'm showing on my screen, and then I can, move my photo, my video as I'm filming, as you can see right now, okay? So this one is definitely a little bit more complicated. I learned OBS by just simply watching YouTube videos, but this is a great option if you want more advanced features. But this is what I'm using currently. And then of course you can use Zoom as well. You can simply create a Zoom meeting and then just hit record. Super easy to do. Okay, now as far as the audio, I've used these two mics. They work amazing. The Shure mic is a little bit more expensive. This is what I'm currently using at the moment. This is a Shure microphone, sounds really good. And then the other best option is a Yeti microphone. The Yeti microphone is really good as well, and this one you can get for about $80, and you can both get these on Amazon. So the next thing is, are you going to be making slides? So if you're teaching something, it's always nice to have some sort of slides. So super easy. You can use Google Slides. Canva is what a lot of people use now, and then PowerPoint. And then I'll show you how you can use AI to create a lot of this stuff for you, which is super cool. But for making this simple, you can use these three options. But again, I will show you how you can use AI, ChatGPT to create a lot of this stuff for you. And then the next thing is, are you going to create worksheets, like cheat sheets, stuff like that? As you can see, I'm just using Google Docs. This document that you see right here, it's just a Google Doc. It's super easy, simple, and this is something that I like to add in a lot of my stuff here. So for example, you know, if I'm going to one of these, you'll notice typically I'll have like a Google Doc here. People could click on this. It'll simply go to a document like this. Super easy, super simple, nothing fancy. But again, if you want something more fancy, obviously you can go and create it in a Canva. Canva is 100% free. You can create an account and you can create a lot of cool graphics. You can see we definitely use Canva a lot, but if you want to keep it simple, you can always use just a Google Doc. Now, the next question is, will you be using AI to assist you in creating these assets? So throughout this online course creation video, I'm going to show you how I'm going to use AI to create a lot of these assets, like the logo, the worksheets, the PowerPoints. It's pretty crazy what AI can do. So I'm going to show you exactly how you can use, you know, ChatGPT, one of my favorites, marketing blocks, to create this online course and make things so much easier. Now, you see, when I first started building my online course, I didn't really have AI. I had to either hire someone to create a lot of these graphics, or I had to do a lot of these things myself. So I want to show you how you can use AI properly. That way you can make things so much easier and create the best online course for you and your students. So step number 4, when you're creating an online course, is to now create your online course assets, creating your course slides, worksheets, documents, and then of course we have to name the course as well. And then finally, we got to actually create the videos for your online course. So in step 3, we figured out, okay, these are the tools we're going to use. This is the equipment, but now we got to start creating it. Now you see here, the first thing I have is creating your logo. Now you can use a few different softwares to do this. The first one I like to use is ChatGPT. As you can see, you could simply use ChatGPT 4 and above to start creating logos for you. It's super powerful. Now, the cool thing is ChatGPT is free, but to use, you know, ChatGPT 4 and above, you do have to pay $20 a month, but it's super worth it if you don't want to go and pay a designer or create this yourself. Now, if you do want to create your own logo, you can also use, again, Canva to create this for you. But you'll see here, I just said, hey, create a fierce black and gold lion logo for, you know, this is exactly what I'd want to do. So you'll notice here, it created a pretty good logo. And then from here, you can just say, you know, add these letters or change this up, change this color, right? So I can say, change it to black and red, and it'll simply, you know, now create the image in black and red. Now, again, this is just a base, or if you like it, of course, you can use this for your course logo, but you can see here, now it's going to create the image, and there you go. It actually looks super cool, the black and red. And you know, you could use this for your course logo if you like. So it's super cool that you can use AI to create all this stuff for you. Okay. Now, the next thing here is naming your course. Now, for some reason, a lot of people struggle with this, but it is important, right? You want to have a cool name for your course. Now, again, I'm just going to go back to ChatGPT and just give me some ideas, right? So I'm going to say, give me 20 course name ideas for a course that helps people quit their job. Please use the word freedom. Okay. This is just what I'm going to tell it. So my course that I've sold over 55,000 students, it is called Freedom Accelerator. As you can see here, you can see it's just going to give me some ideas. You can kind of see, okay, I like this idea, freedom blueprint, the freedom shift, pathway to freedom. It really helps just throw ideas out there. Even if you don't like any of these ideas, you can at least start thinking about it, right? So again, AI is not some magic tool that's going to do everything for you. It's just going to make things go a little bit quicker. Okay. Let's say Freedom Awakening. That's a pretty cool course, and the road to freedom, freedom journey, right? So you can prompt AI whatever you want it. Okay. So that's the cool thing. If you don't like this, you can say, hey, let's get rid of that. Let's use the word, quit my job in the title. Okay. Whatever you want to do. So again, we're using AI to really help us think about how we're going to structure the online course. Okay. It's not really doing everything for us per se. It's just assisting us. Okay. So it's not super magic where it does everything for you, or at least not yet, but it does do a lot of really, really cool things. So the next thing now is we need to create slides, worksheets, documents to go with your online course. Okay. Now this is really important. As you can see, I'm literally building this document out as I'm creating this video. And this is cool because this helps people kind of go through the videos. Okay. So this is really important to create as you're making your video. So before I even create my videos, I like to create slides, worksheets that I can give away along with people watching the videos. Now, again, you can go and create this using Google Docs or slides or Canva. You could also use marketing blocks, right? So I'm going to actually add this right here. Marketing blocks is a great tool. As you can see, I use it a lot. So you can go and use it to, it'll write for you. It'll create a course. It'll create products. It'll create, art, image animator, background remover. It'll do a lot of things that ChatGPT won't necessarily do for you. Okay. So I highly recommend this if, you don't want to go and create things yourself, but you can literally go inside of here and, create a page, right? So you can see, hey, I want you to do, create this page for me, or I want you to create this type of content. Super easy to use. All you have to do is click on one of these and you just prompt it to do it. So for example, this AI banner here on the bottom left, I could go and create this banner, right? So create new, I'll just put test, and then you just tell it what you want the banner to look like. Okay. So again, you can go and create these assets for your online course. Again, you can do it for free using Canva, but I just want to give you all the tools, the options that you can use. And of course you have ChatGPT as well. Okay. So that's the next thing. And then obviously the most important thing now is now you got to start creating your videos for the course. Okay. So now what we need to do is now you have, again, if we go back up, we should have this outline filled out, right? We have an idea of what we're going to create. Now, of course, as you start creating your course, you're probably going to make some changes here and there, but if you have a good outline, you have like your phases, your roadmap for your students, and you have your modules, your videos, your worksheets done. Now it's going to be super easy to film it because you have like bite-sized pieces of things that you can simply film now. Okay. So now it's like, okay, cool. Now I got to film, module 1, video 1. It's about XYZ, right? Boom. You film it, done. And once you film it, then you can start going through the process. Okay. So this is really important here is when you start creating the videos, you'll have an outline of your entire course because you've already created it. You've created your worksheets, your slides. So this makes it super easy to do now. So step number 5 is choosing the correct platform to host and sell your course. Now, when you're trying to find the best platform to host your online course, you got to figure out how are you going to sell the course? How are you going to do the email, the text automation? How are you going to host the videos, right? Am I going to host the videos on YouTube or Vimeo, right? Where am I going to put the members area, right? Where can I go to create a super cool members area where people can go to module 1, video 2, and so on and so forth, right? So these are the things you got to think about, right? Are we going to create a community? Are we going to do this on Facebook? Are we going to do this on another platform? And then of course, how can we make a very easy login for our members, right? Somewhere they can just type in the website and then they enter their login and boom, their course is already there. Now, funnel freedom is my favorite software and tool to create my entire business. Now, I'm going to show you exactly how this works and how you can build your membership area. But inside of Funnel Freedom, you'll notice that you can go and create funnels, right? So this is how you're going to actually sell your course. So for example, if I click on this funnel right here, you'll notice that this is my funnel, right? This is how I'm getting people to take my course. Now, whether it's free or paid, obviously that's up to you, but you need a way that way people can get inside of your online course. Now, this is important because now I can go and create funnels, but also when people go and enter their details, right? Like their name, their email, their phone, it's all in one, right? So basically people enter their information here, and this is all going to be inside the Funnel Freedom software, right? So you're going to have these contacts in here. You're going to have their email, their phone, all their information is all in contacts, as you can see right here. Now, not only are you going to have your members' contact information, you can also have conversations with them here inside the Funnel Freedom software itself. Now, the cool thing is you can conversate with your clients on email, texting, and even Instagram if you connect your Instagram to the Funnel Freedom software. But if we go over to memberships, this is where you can very easily create your members area for your online course. Now, I have a full in-depth video on how to create an online course using Funnel Freedom, but I'm going to show you some very basic things that you can do in here. But if you want access to that entire training where I show you step by step how to set up the tech part to create your online course in Funnel Freedom, I'll leave a link somewhere on this video or down in the YouTube description. But I'll show you some very basic things here. If you go to the membership area and then under courses, you can go and create your products. So if I go to products, this is the actual course itself, right? So this is an example here, but if you click inside of here, this is where you can add your course, right? So you have, again, your modules, and then you can break this down into certain lessons, right? So super easy to do. And then of course you can very easily just go and add more to this, right? So I can go to this plus sign and create category, right? So let's just say module number 2. It's very easily going to create the new module, as you can see on the bottom here. And then I can now add lessons or videos, however you want to do that, right? So add lesson, add subcategory, so we'll just do, video number 1. So this would be obviously module 2, video 1. And then of course, inside of here, you can go to this edit tab. Now I can add a video, I can add a post thumbnail, I can say what this is about. So super cool. I can add all the files that go with it. Very, very powerful. Okay. You can literally build your whole entire course here. Now, the cool thing is if you do get stuck on here, you're not sure how to do certain things, you could click on this live tab right here, and literally you can talk with someone 24/7 for support. They're going to literally help you through this entire process if you get stuck. So make sure to use this chat setting here. And if you still get stuck, we even have a Zoom call set up. So to get access to that Zoom call support, you can go to this Funnel Freedom support tab right here where it says Zoom tech support. You can click on this and someone will help you set it up if you're still confused and not sure what to do. But inside of here, you have the ability to create this entire course however you want to do it. And of course, you can customize the branding, you can customize the offers and how much you want to charge for the course, as you can see right here. And one thing that's super cool is now you can create communities inside of here. Okay, so essentially you can create your own group that you manage, right? So you don't have to rely on Facebook anymore if you don't want to, right? You can have your own community that you can go and create. So super cool that you can add this inside of the Funnel Freedom software. And then under payments, this is where you can connect a Stripe or a PayPal account. So under here in integrations, if you click on integrations, this is where you can go and add, Stripe, you can add PayPal. That way you can take payments. Okay. Okay, so super cool because you can literally run your entire online course business using this software. And again, I have a full in-depth tutorial on how to set up the tech part for Funnel Freedom. That's gonna be a separate video because that's more in depth and there's more step-by-step how to set up the automations, how to set up the course branding. So I'll do another video showing you exactly how to do that. But in this particular video, I wanna show you how I set up an online course. But if you want access to the tech setup video, I'll leave a link down in the YouTube description and in the document that I mentioned earlier in this video. All right, so step number 6 is predicting your success for your online course. Now, this is personally my favorite part because once I have the course created, now I get to look at the numbers, right? How can I actually sell this course? How can I be profitable? How am I gonna price the course? How am I gonna get the leads, the sales? So I'm gonna walk you through a high-level overview of how I do this. Now, when predicting your success, the first thing we gotta figure out is the pricing of your online course, okay? I can go way more in depth in the pricing of this, but we're just gonna hit some main touch points here, okay? So the first question you need to be asking is, what is the value of your program and what's the value of solving their main pain point, right? Like, what's the cost of not getting their dream outcome? So for me, when I was selling my program on how to leave their 9-to-5 job, that's a huge pain point, right? People hate their job. They want to get out of that pain and more to pleasure, right? Which is leaving their job, having financial freedom. So that has a huge value proposition, okay? Now, if you're just teaching someone something like, hey, this is how to do gardening, maybe that's not such a big pain point, right? So you got to kind of figure out what's the pain point, what's the value of them not getting that result, okay? Now, you can look at what other people are doing in similar industries, but these are some questions you need to think about as far as the pricing. Now, here's some example pricings to kind of look at if you're doing kind of more, not so much pain, but more like, hey, this is some cool thing you can teach. Maybe you're in the $297 to $497 range, okay? Now, if you're teaching more like, hey, this is how you get out of this really big pain point, that's where you can charge anywhere between, $997, $1497, $1997, all the way up to, $10,000. Now, when you get to kind of these price points here, between 4 and 10K, the course is it's structured differently. That's when you want to add more coaching calls, Zoom calls, stuff like that. So that's the only thing that really changes from, basically like a $2,000 price point to, a $4,000 to $10,000 price point. Okay. But as long as the pain is still there, you can charge a lot of money. I know for me personally, I've spent $20,000, $30,000 on courses, mentorships, because I had the pain of, whatever it was at the time, for me getting out of my job. So I was willing to pay someone to learn, some of these skills, okay? So people pay for courses, guys. You guys need to understand if people are in pain, they want to get out of that pain and get closer to that dream outcome, okay? Let me know down below what you're thinking of creating as far as your online course. What's the actual value of your program, right? Not necessarily the name of the program or what it is. What's the value proposition? How are you going to get them from pain to pleasure, okay? Let me know down in the comments. I'm curious, and let me know what you're thinking as far as charging. I'll respond in the comments, and if I have any feedback, I'll definitely let you know down below, okay? So the next thing you want to ask is, how are you going to sell your course, okay? Now, this is really important, and I'll have to do another video on like how I sell my online courses, because all these methods here, like creating a challenge, creating a webinar, doing a book a call, doing a VSL, I've done all of them, but each one of these methods are different, and depending on how you want to structure your business. So I'm going to very quickly just kind of show you how I structure this, okay? Now, a challenge is super cool. This is typically like a low ticket challenge, right? Anywhere between $7 to $27. And it's just something to get people in the door, okay? And then you sell them on your high ticket course, basically within the challenge itself, okay? Now, I'll leave a link here to basically, I have all of these. I have a challenge, I have a webinar, I have a book a call, I have a VSL. I have all of these. So you can take a look at my examples if you want to take a look at what I'm doing. But you got to ask the question, right? So how do I want to sell this? Now, a webinar is super cool. It just takes some time, but basically this is like a 90-minute presentation. And at the end of that presentation, this is where you can go and sell your online course. Okay. So webinars are super cool. You can make them automated. This is one of my favorite ways to sell my online course. A book a call. This is very simple. Basically what you can do is you have like a funnel and it's just like, hey, on the next page, book a call with me or one of my sales advisors or one of my sales agents. And basically this is where they get on a call with them, answer some questions, boom, sales. Okay. A lot of people get nervous with that because they don't want to sell on the phone or on Zoom, but this is probably one of the best ways to do it. Now, one thing I'll mention is I actually have a challenge that leads to a book a call. Okay. So that's basically how I do this. So I have a challenge that then goes to the book a call. Okay. So I kind of merge those two together. The next one here is a VSL. With a VSL, this is a video sales letter. So like a 15, 10-minute quick video showing them the value of your program. Now with the VSL, this is typically good for like a $297 or a $497 course. Anything after that, like $997 to like $1997, you really can't do it with the VSL. You need to provide more value, right? And that's where a webinar or a challenge comes into place because you're gonna spend more time with people, okay? So typically with the VSL, you're not gonna be able to sell, anything past kind of this $497 mark, okay? That being said, now you're going to the, 4K to 10K mark. Really, you can only sell that with the book a call because people wanna actually talk to someone and figure out, hey, is this actually worth that much money? Okay. So if you're doing, in this high ticket range, typically that's only a book a call. You really can't do a webinar with that. Now you can do a challenge that then goes to a book a call because someone's going to talk to them. Just so you know, you got to figure out what's the best way to do that. Now, I always like to predict my success, right? So how much are you going to make, right? So these are the goals this is the math that you got to kind of look at. Okay. What's your goal, right? How many people do you want inside of your program? At least like the first week, the first month, first year, right? Like what's going to help you get out of your job? What's going to help you, replace your income, whatever your goal is, right? Let's just say 10 people. Let's just as an example. Okay. 10 people. So the average close rate, and this is just, it depends on, what type of method you're doing, but let's just say 10%. Now, if you're doing a webinar, it's typically a little bit lower, but it's more automated. 10% is like a good average number. You can get closer to 20, 30% if you're doing like a book a call. So more conservatively, we can go 5 to 10%, but we'll just stick with the 10% for this example. And then you got to figure out like how many leads do I need? And then how many sales do I need, right? So as an example, let's just say you price your course at $997. Now, as an example, to make this example simple, I'm going to keep it at 1,000. Let's just say we're doing the low ticket challenge. So let's just say we're charging $7 for this challenge. And then we need, 100 people inside of here. We close at 10%. That's going to give us, 10 students. That's $10,000 in revenue. Okay. So it's like, okay, cool. I can do that. So the next question you got to ask, right? It's like, okay, so to get these 100 leads, how do I do that? How do I get the traffic? That's literally the most important part. How do I get the traffic to be able to do this? But at least we can at least kind of reverse engineer, right? I want to make this much. So I need this many students. So I need to close this percentage. So I need to get this many leads. So I need to get people to, this challenge. What do I do, right? How do I get traffic? Which then leads me to step number 7 is how do you get traffic to your online course? Now, I'm just going to show you a few examples. The first example is I want to show you what I'm doing on Instagram to drive traffic. Now, the cool thing about Instagram is it's 100% free traffic, right? You just have to go and create content. Okay. Now, I'll say I have a ton of videos on my YouTube channel on how to get traffic. Okay. So make sure to go look at that. I show you how to do paid traffic, AI traffic, Instagram traffic, all that stuff. Okay. It's going to be all on my YouTube channel. And then of course I have my Freedom Accelerator program, really going into depth on how to get traffic. Okay. But for now, I just want to show you some basic things that I'm doing to drive literally thousands and thousands of leads. Okay. So inside of here, you can see I'm just creating these simple posts with the value proposition of my online course. Okay. So for example, this one right here, I'm talking about, my new unfair software that lets you promote multiple different things. Okay. And inside of here, I'm trying to get people to comment, right? You'll see all these people are commenting that they want access to this program, okay? So I'm really creating the pain inside of these posts, okay? The pain, but how can I get them from pain to pleasure, right? That's the whole goal. And then of course, I wanna get them to my funnel right here, right? Which is something I've created in Funnel Freedom, is I wanna get them to, again, my challenges, my webinars, whatever it is that I'm trying to get them to, okay? So Instagram is one of my favorite places to do this, short form content. Now, one thing that's super interesting is you can even do this with AI, okay? This video that you see right here, this is 100% done using AI, okay? So if you're scared to get on camera, you don't wanna create content yourself, you can literally use AI to do this yourself, okay? Now, I'll leave a link to the AI video down below in the comments and also the checklist, but this is the video on how to get leads using 100% AI. And I also have a training on how I'm getting 12,000 leads per month. I'll also leave that down in the checklist, the YouTube description, but this is the video right here. Go check that out. Now, one more method I want to talk about is YouTube. YouTube is literally my favorite way to drive traffic because you create the video once and then that's going to bring traffic to your online course literally forever. Okay. This is my favorite way to drive traffic. Instagram's amazing, but the only thing is once you post a video, that's it. The video pretty much after a day or two, it'll go away, right? With YouTube, people are searching certain things, right? Like for example, my AI video, right? People are searching how to get leads using AI. So my video will always show up, okay? Literally every type of video that I make, I have some sort of search in here, right? People look up Alex Hormozi all the time. So I'm always getting sales or I'm always getting leads, traffic with this video here because people are always trying to figure out how to do certain things. So YouTube is literally one of my favorite ways to drive traffic. So I'll also leave a video down below on how I get traffic with YouTube. Now, I hope you enjoyed this training on how to build an entire online course from scratch. And again, I have a separate training on how to set up the tech part inside of Funnel Freedom because this video would be another hour. So go check out that video. I'm going to show you exactly step by step on how to actually set it up inside the Funnel Freedom software. So good luck on your online course. Super excited to see you crush it because online courses literally changed my life, not only as a consumer, but also as creating an online course myself. So thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one and God bless.